Alright folks, so we are live and today we're going to be doing a comparison or at least talking about the stablecoin saga, especially what happened to US dollar Tether. So let's allow the stream to populate a little bit before we get started. Hey, I don't see anyone coming on eh. Right. Alright, hope that everyone can hear me. I seem to be having a little bit of issues with the stream at the moment. Can you all type on chat? That's the most important. Okay, so guys, feel free to type on chat just to say hi, and then it'll be much easier because I think the chat, I'm not sure whether is it disabled because I know that I put it on chat, so it should be able to move. Okay. Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about the stable coins. Hi there Dhamma brother. Good to see you. You guys have to be a little bit more friendly, man. So I noticed that a lot of folks are now a little bit shaken by the US dollar Tether situation. So I think I want to do a quick coverage on the various types of stable coins that are out there and what it will eventually mean for the space. Now, in the traditional banking sector, right? Whenever a bank wants, or at least you want to start up a bank, apart from having the license, you want to make sure that you have enough capital. Okay, so banks have to have enough capital to provide all the services that it wants to provide. That means obviously investments. You want to provide lending. All these things are very, very important. Okay, so in the current situation that we're at right now, we do not have the same practices. So the current situation is that a lot of people tend not to look at all these things. So I'm going to help you all understand what's going on. So if you want to provide lending, am I right to say that first you have to have the money, and after that, you must make sure that you have a kind of a lockdown period, because if you want to provide lending to people, that means, let's say if I'm going to lend you, okay, I would like to lend money to someone, and you are borrowing from me. So you would like to borrow for the next 6 months at a certain rate. What I'll do is lend you for 6 months at an interest, of course. So how am I going to guarantee that I have enough liquidity? Obviously, I have to make sure that I have the reserves set aside. And after that, once I have the reserves set aside, I'm able to lend it to you and the borrower. And I'm going to charge you an interest as you pay me back. So you're going to pay me back principal plus interest. Okay. So now in this current space and this current scenario, it seems very simple. But all these stable coins, they do not seem to be practicing this. So there's a lot of money going in and out. There's a lot of money being printed, but there's no way to validate whether or not the stable coin, the companies that are having the stable coins, have the one-to-one where the asset is backed. Okay, so asset obviously is backed by US dollars at the moment. So yesterday, what happened was there was a huge FUD that was going on about Tether, and I clearly stated in my public group that this is all rubbish. If there was any issues with US dollar Tether, why are the exchanges not coming out to at least calm the current situation, because a lot of people, not only are they trading in BTC, but they're obviously trading in US dollar Tether as well, because it's just more straightforward. If I bought into Bitcoin at $6,300 and I decide to sell it at 6,600, I have made a profit of 300 US dollars. And that 300 US dollars, whether I decide to take that profit in BTC, Ethereum, or USDT, it has to be $300. It's just very simple, okay? But yesterday, for every one USDT, apparently I would have to pay a premium to get into TUSD, because I wasn't sure of the situation of US dollar Tether. Was it really gonna get delisted from Binance? There was a little bit of scares where the wallets were shut down. That means you couldn't deposit, and obviously you couldn't withdraw. So it kind of created a lot of fear in the market, and there was such a huge price disparity. And if you had the courage to take profit into US dollar Tether at that time, you would be making a nice profit, right? Like we are talking about 10% profit here, okay? Because the price of Bitcoin was $6,400, and the price of Bitcoin in US dollar Tether was above $7,000. That was just a crazy profit for those who just still believed in US dollar Tether. Now, let's not talk about whether or not USDT is credible yet, okay? We don't come to that point yet, okay? I have a few slides, but I'm just sharing with you the scenario of what happened yesterday. So now I'm an investor who is in Bitcoin, and I would like to take profit. But I noticed that, wow, if I was to go and take profit into USD Tether, right, and I want to quickly shift my money to maybe something else, everything was up, right? Everything was up. If you wanted to go into a particular centralized exchange coin, say Binance or Huobi, in US dollar Tether, it would be more expensive. Also, because of yesterday's issue, it caused BTC prices to jump from $6,200 to all the way up to $6,600, okay? So you would be paying a premium to kind of go into a safer, more established altcoin or cryptocurrency that you believed in, okay? So it applies to Ethereum, Litecoin, or whatever coin that you preferred. So you're already paying a 10% premium across the board on whatever you decided to do if you wanted to get out of US dollar Tether, all right? So that being said, how is this going to be known as a stable coin if it clearly showed that it was not stable? In fact, it's quite a joke, okay? Then now let's come to the potential, the pros, okay, the pros of this whole space. In the past, how the market actually moved up, okay? How did the market move up? Because of ICO, right? Ethereum was the very first smart contract protocol that offered other projects to start minting coins. Obviously, that is not the intention of Ethereum. Ethereum wanted to be like, for example, an Android OS, right? You can build multiple applications on top of with this platform for smartphones. Now, for the ICO space, the whole Ethereum kind of helped the whole space kind of blow up, right? All the money was coming in because you can now raise money through the initial coin offerings, which is the ICO that we know and used to love. Now, there's nobody doing any ICOs, or they're doing it very, very quietly behind the scenes, because now I think the movement is now towards STO, which is security tokens, where it's more compliant, and you can outrightly say if you are approved in some way by some regulatory body, you are able to provide a return to your STO holders. But that's probably a story for 2019. So that part kind of choked off when the whole ICO space died down, because regulations started to come in. Most folks don't want to suddenly have their token delisted if the SEC comes down very hard on the exchanges and says, hey, this is clearly a security. Okay, it's not an ICO, it's clearly a security, we have to take it down. So immediately your value of your token goes to zero, right? Because it's a delisting, there's no liquidity, there's no way that the platforms are going to bear responsibility of that liquidity. So now we have this whole we have these whole stable coins that are popping out in the market. These stable coins will potentially be the channels or potential channels of liquidity to come back into the market. This is kind of like how I see it. But let me just warn you guys of a few things before we step into the space. Firstly, when you want to be a liquidity provider, apart from asset back, what are your measures in terms of holding the funds and making sure that when people want to cash out, you actually have the amount of funds to cash out? And I noticed that most of the cash out measures within the stablecoins are not very friendly. Some are as high as $50,000 in order for you to cash out. Obviously, you can cash out smaller ticket sizes from the exchanges, but what I feel is that I think they just want to provide as much liquidity as possible, and then it's one way to pump the overall market. Whether or not this actually happens, we have yet to see. So let me just go into the whole presentation slides, and then you will have a clearer picture. So I'm now going to switch to my PowerPoint, and then you can see the comparison. Okay. All right. So right now, we're going to just go through the various stable coins that are out there, and then from then you can decide which ones are going to be reliable. All right. So let's just say right now we have TUSD, we have US dollar Tether, and we have PEX, USDC, and Gemini dollar, okay, GUSD. Okay, so which exchanges currently carry all these various coins? Now, at the moment, exchanges wise, Bittrex, Upbit, Binance, HBus, which is Huobi Bus, Digifinex, and Warzi. Now, US dollar Tether actually is on quite a number of exchanges, okay, but these are when I did this, it was pegged against Binance, BTC. There's no US dollar to USD Tether for USDT itself. Okay, so this is what it means by not available, meaning that when you see USDT, it's usually paired with BTC, it's usually paired with, it's usually on most major exchanges at the moment. So, but when you're talking about against US dollar, these are the ones that are available that you can exchange US dollar Tether for USD. So this is what I'm talking about. So for PEX, you can do on Binance, Gate.io, ZB.com. For USDC is on Poloniex, and GUSD is on Buybox. Obviously, GUSD is also available on Gemini. Now, of course, eligibility at the moment is individuals and institutions across the board. So everybody can use these stable coins. Next, we have one-to-one exchange to fiat. When this slide is just very straightforward. So for TrueCoin or TUSD, it is 10,000 TUSD minimum. Okay, and then or you want to cash out 10,000 US dollars. Then for Tether.io is 50,000 minimum at a 0.1% fee. If you do it on Bitfinex, it's 1%. Kraken is 0.2% fee, and there's a 200K per month limit. Limit of 25K per day. PEX at the moment, no, they do not offer or allow you to cash out via their website. Then USDC is on Cracks24, but I've never heard of Cracks24, and the current 24-hour volume is 0. Then Gemini, I think everybody is very familiar. Gemini allows you to cash out very directly, and it goes to your respective bank account. Okay. Now, next is the auditing. So auditing for TUSD is Cohen and Company. So so when I say auditing, who are providing the accounting and auditing services? So for TUSD's case, Cohen and Company. USDT is FSS, which is a law firm, but the original auditing firm was Friedman LLP. Did not audit it. 4 largest firms unwilling to engage in an audit. Okay. Then we have PEX, which is Nomic Labs. USDC would be third-party legal audits, which has no, unnamed. They are unnamed companies. Then Gemini will be BBP, LLP, Trail of Bits, Inc., and it's a software. So I think right now, as I'm trying to explain to you, right? These companies or these accounting and auditing companies are providing the service. So how do we know that these accounting companies are credible themselves, right? So we don't know. Okay, so next slide we have it. So wow, so that was the last slide actually. So yeah, that was basically the breakdown of the various stable coins at the moment. Okay, and as you can see, what kind of level of transparency are we having? Honestly, very, very little. We just have to take their word for it that they are going to be asset backed. They are going to be accountable and auditing their books. That's all we can do. And at the moment, one way is all these backers, right? All these backers are usually VCs, okay, venture capitalists. To me, I feel that they are probably using the stable coins as a means to cash out. That's why they are kind of providing the liquidity, okay, behind the scenes. And yeah, I mean, you have to find a way to cash out into fiat, right? Because if you hold a lot of tokens and everything like that, you need to have a way of cashing out. But this is just one aspect. When I say that they're backing the projects, they are definitely backing with US dollars. So it's more of, okay, if I am backing with US dollars, I can go through the exchanges and cash out my crypto. See? So it's like a cycle, if you know what I mean. This is kind of like how I see it at the moment. And hopefully that with more stable coins out there in the market, it's also going to provide more liquidity for the space. Hopefully that there will be more credible stable coins out there, and that we can just base it on the brand. Because honestly guys, if I want to go through the episode where you talk about the credibility and accountability of each and every project, honestly I can safely say only Gemini probably has the best and most the most reputable stable coin, right? The rest, honestly, I don't really know, right? A lot of people don't even trust USDT, but apparently that's the gold standard for now. All right. So, you know, guys, in this space, nothing is certain. A lot of things are still not regulated. For the fact that you can even use the term USD, I'm also very, very shocked. But apparently, just because you put a capital, a different kind of letter in front of the US dollars, or you put a capital letter at the back of the the USD, right? That acronym, it kind of already allows you to use the name. You know, by right, as a monetary authority, you shouldn't allow your fiat domination USD to be used on anything unless you approve it. So I'm very, very shocked that it can just be used like that, you know, as and be deemed as a stable coin. It's just very, very shocking. Like I said, this space is always full of surprises. It's still the Wild West, and although there's a lot of potential to make money, but I think that I also want to make sure that my audience is aware of what's going on and how amateur this space really is. Honestly, it's still very, very amateurish. I see how things are being done. There's nothing that we can do as a retail investor at the moment. All we can see and hope is that there will be more progress and there will be more accountability for the space for investors, and hopefully the exchanges can zero in and kind of say, hey, okay, we approve of listing this token because blah 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 blah. We've gone through, we've spoken to them. At least there's some kind of vote of confidence as per se. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. Sometimes it's due to avoidance of taxes, or at least kind of parking the money in a stable coin at the moment. And yeah, imagine you could profit from a stable coin. It's just like saying that if you were someone in the US, okay, why am I using the US? Because it's the US dollars. So what happened was yesterday, if you're someone from Los Angeles, you could buy a full apple for $1. But if you're someone from another part of the US, you're only able to buy maybe 80% of the apple, right? That means you're going to have to pay 20% more, or let's say 10 or 20% more, so that you can acquire one full apple. But in actual fact, it's the same US dollars. That's the joke. Okay, so guys, stay safe out there, and at the end of the day, I hope that this little episode kind of gave you a little quick rundown of what the stablecoins are all about. Could it be the catalyst for the next bull run? Honestly, I don't know. But then again, there are a lot of weird stuff that happens in the crypto space. Anything could be a catalyst. Could it be bug and stablecoins coming out together? And with all the stablecoins means there are more channels for money to flow in? Maybe. All right. Well, anyway, that is all for today, and I'll see you in the next live webinar. See you guys.